I know moving to a new country can be very daunting and overwhelming, from getting ready to leave your home country, the anxiety, the fear of the unknown, especially when you have family or friend in this new city or community you're going to be living in. I know what it feels like to just feel like you've been thrown into the wild and you have to find your way. So this video is going to guide you on what you need to do, the important things you need to do once you first arrive in Canada as an international student or even as a peer. Hi guys, thank you for clicking to watch this video. My name is Mariam. If you're new here, I make videos from Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada. I make videos about study and lifestyle videos, immigration videos. Welcome to a brand new year. I hope you're having an amazing start to 2024. I pray that 2024 is peaceful and it's full of blessings and is our best year yet. To my returning subscribers, how are you guys doing? I know you've missed my face. I haven't shown up here in a few weeks, but this is a new year and I promise to show up more consistently. Somebody say amen. Amen. So yes, today's video is an important video that has been requested for by I received Instagram DMs from new subscribers, from people who are planning to move to New Brunswick in this new year, and Moncton specifically, and they're wondering what to do when they arrive. Somebody said she doesn't know anybody here and she would like to know what are the first things she needs to do when she arrives. So I thought, okay, yeah, maybe it's time for me to actually do some sit-down videos about settling into Canada and Moncton, because I live in Moncton, and yes, it will help anyone who is planning to come into Canada this year to try to find their way around. So yes, you can call me your Moncton bestie, your New Brunswick bestie. I'm going to be dropping these settlement videos in the next coming weeks or months. Yes, so send in your messages, send in your requests, the type of videos you want me to do, and I'll try my best to do some research around them and make videos for you. Yes. Have you subscribed? I think this is a good time to pause. Let me just give you 10-20 seconds to subscribe to the channel. It doesn't take so long. Just click on the subscribe button so that you will get information, you'll get notified when I post new videos. Yes, so let's get right into the video for today. Okay, so number one on the list, so I'm going to start from when you just arrive in Canada from the airport. You need to get your study permit or your work permit printed at the airport. So once the plane lands and before you get to where you pick up your baggage, the baggage claim area, you need to go to the immigration officers, the border officers at the airport, to have your study permit and work permit printed. When this is done, please ensure that you check to make sure that all your information is correct, your date of birth, your conditions of your permit, the number of hours you're allowed to work, the expiry date. Check all these things to make sure that they are correct, because once you leave the airport, it might be a very stressful task to try to get that corrected. So ensure you check that they are correct. Number two, you need to get a SIM card and a phone plan. The popular networks in Canada are Virgin, Rogers, Fido, Bell. Yes, these are like the popular ones. So you need to find out which one works for your situation. Some of them offer unlimited text messages and phone calls in Canada. Some will offer you 10 gigs, 20 gigs for like $50, $40, $45. So you need to just find out which one you can afford and which one works for your situation. The next thing is to register for your social insurance number. That's the SIN. You need the SIN to be able to work in Canada. Without the SIN, no employer is going to give you a job. And then another thing you must take note of is to keep this SIN safe. Do not give it to anybody besides your employer. And this should happen after you have gotten the offer and you're going through your onboarding process. So that's the SIN. That's that about the SIN. You can get this, you can register for the SIN at Service Canada. There are several Service Canada offices all around Canada, and even in New Brunswick, you have in Moncton, you have in St. John, you have in Fredericton, you have them in Shediac, all around the province there. If you also just Google, you'll find the Service Canada offices depending on the city that you're living or yes, the community you're going to settle in New Brunswick. So yes, get your SIN registered, get registered for SIN. And then the next thing you need to do is to get a bus pass. In Moncton, the bus system is called the Kodiak. So download the Kodiak app from Google or your iOS Play Store and get the bus pass. Students are given a subsidized rate for the monthly bus pass. I would advise you go for that one because you get unlimited bus rides with that. I think it's about $55 the last. It's been a while I bought it because I really don't have need for the bus pass anymore. So get a bus pass. Don't be like me. The first few weeks we spent a lot of money on cabs. Anyway, you wouldn't blame me that much because a lot of times you're going out with the kids and then but waiting at the bus stop for hours, for at least an hour for the bus to come was not something we're willing to do all the time. So yes, get a bus pass. It saves you a lot of money. And but another thing you need to understand is that the bus system in Moncton is not so great. The bus comes, I think, every 45 minutes to 1 hour. So whenever you're planning, if you're planning to go somewhere, just add 1 more hour. But get a bus pass. It's very important. It's going to save you money on cab fare. That's number 4. Yes. Number 5 is start looking for accommodation, especially if you didn't find accommodation before landing. There are several platforms where you can look for accommodation. You can even start from your school and speak to your international office and ask them to give you advice on how to get accommodation. There are lots of Telegram groups for several universities that you can join. People are always posting that they're looking for roommates, or someone might know about an accommodation that's available and they'll post it on platforms like that. So get in touch with your other students from this school you're going to and ask questions. Go to Facebook Marketplace, Google rental companies in your city and email them, call them. A lot of them are responsive via email as well. So yes, start looking for accommodation. It's important, especially if you're coming with kids. The school that your children will be assigned to is tied to where you live in that city, so you need to find accommodation. But if you don't get an accommodation, you can also consider staying in an Airbnb in the meantime, temporary accommodation, while you take your time to search for a permanent lease rental. While you take your time to search for a permanent rental for your family or for yourself. So yes, so utilize Facebook Marketplace. Go to websites like Kijiji, there's rent.ca, there's Rent Faster. Start looking for accommodation within the week that you arrive. That's number 4. Number 5. Number 6 one is to open a bank account. It is important because you need your bank account to be able to make payment for when you get a house, when you want to furnish your house, or when you go grocery shopping. The cash, they don't really operate a cash system here. It's more of an electronic payment system. And then when you open a bank account, also get a credit card so that you can start building your credit history. That's important if you plan to stay in Canada long term, like maybe get a mortgage in the future, get a financing for a car, stuff like that. You need to start building your credit history. Yeah, so most banks will offer you a credit card. Some of the popular banks in Canada are TD, you have BMO, you have RBC, you have Scotiabank, and most of them have like accounts for students or newcomers, new immigrants to Canada. Some of these accounts might even be free of charges for the first year. You can have an account that you don't pay any account maintenance fee for a year. So go to the banks and find out what they have. Some banks will give you a higher credit card amount, some will give you a lower credit card amount. So you need to find out which one works for you as a student or as a new immigrant. So you'll go through all that steps because you actually need a bank account to be able to do a lot of things. You don't want to carry cash everywhere you go to or all the time to make payments. So yes, that's another step. Another thing you can do, which you don't have to necessarily do it in the first week, is to contact like immigrant serving organizations that can also help guide you in your first weeks on, for instance, schools to enroll for your, how to enroll for your kids for school, how to get an accommodation. They could also go through your resume and see how you can make it to become like a Canadian style resume. They can go through this process with you, prepare you for job interviews, and all that. I'm going to make another video, a fuller video on accommodation and certain immigrant serving community organizations in New Brunswick that immigrants can contact in the next few weeks. So yes, so you can do that. The next thing, you're going to give you 10 seconds to subscribe. It doesn't take too long to subscribe. So just click the subscribe button and let's get ahead. If you're coming to New Brunswick as an international student or a worker or a PR, is to register for your service, for your Medicare card. Medicare is the health insurance system that the province of New Brunswick has for its citizens, permanent residents, international students, temporary workers will have will reside here. So I can do this in Service New Brunswick. There are also Service New Brunswick offices all around the province. So go there with your work permit and your passport or your study permit, your lease. If you're a student, you need your enrollment letter to be able to register, your enrollment letter from your institution, your lease. You need to have a lease to show your where you live, and you need your passport, your international passport, like for instance your Nigerian passport, and your study permit or your work permit to enroll for Medicare. So yes, you have access to. So the next thing is finding a job. This is like one of the biggest parts of moving to a new country. You need to find a job as fast as you can because the bills here are not smiling and the bills are monthly. So it's not like in Nigeria or elsewhere where you pay your rent for 1 year. Yeah, here in Canada, you need to pay your rent monthly, you need to pay your car insurance monthly, you need to pay, for instance, if your accommodation doesn't cover electricity bill, you need to pay your power bill monthly. Everything is paid monthly. You need to pay your home insurance bill monthly. So yes, I understand the need to get a job as soon as possible. So yes, you go on platforms like Indeed, on LinkedIn, and start searching for a job. Make sure that your resume is a Canadian style resume. It's not too long. Just put the relevant information there and tailor it to a particular jobs that you're applying for. I'm going to do another video again about this. So this is like the overall settlement video for the first week and the first few weeks. And subsequently, I'm going to break them down and make them more detailed on some of these topics I've talked about. Yeah, so finding a job, and then you can also rely on like friends or fellow classmates to refer you to. Some people get jobs quicker than others. Next one is getting your driver's license. This one doesn't have to happen in the first few weeks because unless you're planning to get a car immediately, you can skip this step. But of course, start thinking about what you need to do to get a driver's license when you land. But that's a whole different process. You need to write the exams, you need to do the road test, you need to do an eye test or something, the theoretical test as well. So that's another part of this settling in Canada video. Yes, so and then another thing you can do, this is for like people who are coming in as international students, is to attend your orientation. I cannot overemphasize the importance of attending orientation. It is at orientation that you learn more about your school. You get information on how to succeed as a student here. You get to meet your faculty, you get to meet your professors, you get to meet other students, even students from your country. That is where you begin to form a community, you begin to make friends, you begin to like enjoy your being in Canada, like attend orientation. Don't skip orientation doing other things. This is important. Like this is the start of the most important reason why you're here. You're here to study. So orientation is where most institutions make it mandatory. Like in my school, it's mandatory that you attend orientation. Information, there's a lot of information. You might even get information overload, but just take things one day at a time, one step at a time. Get a notepad, write as much as you can. At my orientation at Canada University, we had so many institutions that came in to talk to us about different parts, even about the community. The mayor of Moncton was attending an orientation. So it's important that you attend orientation as an international student. The last but not the least point is for you to relax and enjoy. I know that the first few weeks of moving to Canada or a new country can be very, very stressful, from running helter skelter, trying to do this, trying to register for SIN, trying to register for Medicare, get a SIM card, getting accommodation. It could really bring you down, like especially when you don't have a car or anybody taking you from one place to another. It's really stressful. I won't even lie. But after you've done all these things, or you've done some of these things, that the ones that are very important, the SIN, your cell phone, your opening a bank account, and then trying to find accommodation. For me, these are like the really important things you need to do the first week. Enjoy yourself, explore the city, explore your university, find a church, make friends, laugh as much as you can. You need it for your mental health, and I hope Canada favors you. Welcome to Canada in 2024 and beyond. You find favor, and don't forget to always pray. It's important. You need that relationship with God. People who have been in Canada for longer, you could like put in the comment section if I missed anything, just to encourage the newcomers. We need all the encouragement. So thank you guys, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.